Hey guys, today I want to do a NicoNana ultimate guide because they nerfed this dungeon once again, and I believe this is the most important place for all of you guys to farm if you are stuck somewhere in the mid game. If you can't clear Hell 1, Hell 2, Hell 3, Hell 4 in the threshold, then you need to go over here, farm this thing until you get your hands on some very good shell, especially the Inferno quality shell, because they give you more stat, more speed to try to break into the higher level of the module farming. Because if you're stuck at module and you just keep going back and keep failing, it's not going to work out too well, right? That's the definition of insanity. Instead, go over here because I think this is way easier compared to before. When we first started the game, Inferno NicoNana was a nightmare, but now it is much more doable without SSania, without Lily. You can have many different kind of strategy to tank the boss, to deal big damage, to dodge, to do anything. You can actually perform in this dungeon now. And you don't need crazy premium unit. I've also intentionally nerfed my character in these build right here. They have lower speed, they have low HP, they have lower damage to try to show you guys that you can do this dungeon as well. And this is one of the most important plays to farm. Farming shell is so important in the game. I think that's going to be the most common answer to almost every single I'm stuck, what do I do kind of question. And honestly, if you can do Hell on NicoNana, Sharon, Shadowflame Hoyin, and Rengokutsu, especially Rengokutsu and Shadowflame Hoyin, if you can just do Hell for me, okay? If you can spend a day in Hell for me, try to get your hands on one revelation. Just one, because you only need one DPS to shine in a lot of different content, and try to get your hands on one, just one, Codex of Magic with Swift on it, if possible. And if you can do that for me, I think the journey on building all the team for all the Inferno dungeon is going to be so much easier for you when you watch all the guides as well. In this particular dungeon, the best way, in my opinion, to do is to outspeed the thing that stunned you in the first turn. So you don't have to build a healer and focus on killing the boss as quickly as possible, because the longer you stay in these kind of content, the stronger the boss become, the more they hurt you, the more bad RNG will show up. So if you can outspeed and stun the left thing with Oboe, that's going to be great. I think around here is going to be the minimum speed of Oboe. I really don't have worse gear to show you guys because I just recycle them away because the game is so stingy with resources. But I still keep these kind of gear that give me accuracy with speed on them. As you can see, this is the real gear that will stay with you for a long time. The effect accuracy with speed on them. I'm trying to go below like plus 128 and it outspeed me and stun my character. Not very fun. And if you apply the same strategy with Kachi the Goat, you can also try to use his character at 6 star with much higher base speed to try and outspeed the left minion as well. And my Oboe is not maxed out on skill 1, which can give him even more speed to try and outspeed the left minion. So if your gear is not that high in speed and you need another 10-15 speed, you can try 6 starring him and max down his skill 1 to get more speed. And Oboe is one of the characters that I don't think it's going to be a waste to max out this guy because he is so good in other content of the game as well. So my main control is going to be Vice. As you can see right here, I try to keep him slower. Even though I'm using Inferno level shell, I don't activate the Swift Smite and my speed is not too crazy. I try to go with accuracy, and HP and try to get a Wellspring bonus in there and then get a Time Weave bonus in there so I can get my hands on a bit extra accuracy and HP. But I think I'm overkilling in the accuracy department, and maxing out this guy's skill is going to be a bit easier. He can taunt the main boss, so he will stay away from your damage dealer. He can heal himself, and he can attack down and push back the turn meter of the minions, which is very good. So I'm using Kazami the Kazuya. A lot of you guys will have Lily because you reroll for whatever reason, and you don't have to use this character as well. You can also go in with Tsukiyomi that can do pretty much the same thing, attack speed buff and reduce cooldown for the team. I'm using this character because I really enjoy using her, and then she can also dispel buff on the boss, which will make the run so much easier. The most decked out character on my team is definitely going to be Rosa. So Rosa will have very high attack because of Revelation. It is an Inferno level gear. I don't have any more Revelation that is not Inferno level, but I don't activate a Swift Rate because I also don't have any good Swift Rate to use. And the big secret is just to have attack bonus, crit rate, and more attack bonus. Onslaught and Fury both give me extra attack power, so I get a lot more attack on my Rosa to do more damage with Revelation. If you run Tsukiyomi, Tsukiyomi will give her even more damage with attack buff. So the run is very, very simple. You go in and then you stun the two sides so that they don't stun you and also buff the boss. And if you can land a slow debuff with Rosa, it's going to be much more amazing because now they take so much longer to recover their turn to now do something to your team. And even if you don't have Codex of Magic, if you run Halloween, for example, if you run Order Shell, you can also utilize the Kazami cooldown reduction to help with Oboe cooldown as well because the skill 3 cooldown can be a little bit too long. And the dot from Oboe, if you maxed out skill 1, is going to be much more amazing. And that's going to do even more damage to the boss. As you can see, I don't have defense break, but Vice plus speed buff plus Rosa is controlling the boss really, really well. And this is not the only way to do it. I can show you guys other ways to achieve victory in this dungeon as well. So if they match the buff, right? I have two characters that can potentially strip the buff from the boss. And because they nerfed the boss so much that even now, with attack buff and speed buff, the boss doesn't really hurt that much on your character if you have decent shell and maxed out gear. It doesn't have to be like crazy level Inferno gear. It can be a bit less, but you can still survive really, really well, especially if you have Artisan on your Vice or Artisan on your Kazami and maybe Artisan on your Oboe. You can survive very, very well. So what if you don't have the team that I'm using right here and you want order replacement? That is very doable as well. So for example, we're going to switch out two different characters. We're going to take out Vice, we're going to take out Kazami. We're going to put in other character that can perform the same function. So now I'll be using my Viper for the extra debuff on the boss as well as Linglo to provide healing for the team. So I strip a bit of gear from Linglo because I 6-star her and I actually have a max skill 1, which is a crazy difference from your healing progress. So we're gonna nerf her a little bit. And we have Viper in the team as well to provide a slow and an attack break. Viper can be built on high accuracy to land the debuff all the time compared to Rosa because Rosa is focused on damage output. So she will not land a slow debuff all the time. And you can probably do the same thing, but a little bit slower because now we don't have the speed buff and the cooldown reduction. So it's going to take a bit longer for Rosa to get her skill back. But ultimately, what we want to achieve here is we want to do damage on the boss. We want to keep the side minion from actually attacking you. We want to make sure that the boss would not do a lot of damage to you with the attack break and the slow debuff from your character. And you want to heal when you have to heal. So we have Linglo here to provide the heal and immunity. Most of the time to cleanse away the defense break because if there's no defense break on your team, there's not really much threat coming out from this boss. And Linglo is a free-to-play character that I think by day 7, when you unlock this content and you can start doing Inferno, no, not even Inferno, you can start doing Hell level of NicoNana, Linglo is going to be an amazing character for you to start using because her healing can also trigger her cleansing as well. And I would say Linglo is one of the most important characters to max skill early on. If I were to restart my journey in this game, knowing what I know right now, my goal Latisse is going to go on to Linglo immediately because she is just so amazing. So my Rosa is really well built, which means if your Rosa is not as well built or your damage dealer is not as well built, you're going to take longer in the dungeon. But if you're putting in a healer like Linglo, it's going to be so much easier for you to complete a dungeon compared to using like the speed buffer that I showed just now. So there are many ways to tackle the dungeon. As you can see, Viper can also take away the strongest point of this boss, which is going to be the buff that's going to get from the right dude. With attack and speed buff, he hit really hard. It can be very, very scary. As you can see, my Rosa without a cooldown reduction is going to take a bit longer to actually get the Revelation and the skill 3 back. But it's not a problem because Linglo is here to make sure that even if you're in trouble, it's going to be just fine because the healing is so good for your team. So max out your Linglo skill 1. I think that is one of the best thing I've ever done for my account because she is just so freaking good with extra healing from her skill 1. But Sean, what if I don't have any real damage dealer? I didn't build Rosa, I didn't build Ciara, and my Chloros dying in this dungeon. You can also go in with a Dawn character like Fangus. So let's say I have a Fangus right here, not very fast, decent accuracy, and half build. And I will take Viper out of my team because now I have the slow debuff from Fangus. I'm going to use my Vice for the attack break and the pushback. So here we go. We're going to now do dot damage for the most part, but with down Shadow Sania. So all you need to do is to go in, stun the stupid thing, and start putting dot on the boss. Now the boss with less damage Less health, not too important though, but less damage overall. There's nothing much that the boss can really do to hurt you, because if you have like 2 artisan on your team, you are constantly having shield and defense buff, and with Linglo on your team, you now have like a crazy amount of healing. So this team is going to be a very slow-ish team, because you are just doing damage with dot, and you got to wait for the boss to take a turn to take the damage. But because of the taunt coming out from the Vice, if you put Artisan on Vice, he can tank even easier. Or you can put whatever you want, okay? Artisan, Alicorn, or Supernova, or Faustimo, whatever you want to put on Vice. Make sure that Vice have decent accuracy to land the taunt and also to land the attack down. As you can see, Vice cooldown skill 3 is very, very short, so the attack down is going to be up on the enemy team almost all the time. And the moment the Oboe and the Fangus get their skill 3 back, they have further control with stun and slow. So even though this team is going to take a little bit longer compared to a traditional Litting team, or Rosa team, or Ciara team, but it is still doable. And these characters can go a long way in other content as well. Don't think that because you don't have Shadow Sania, you're not going to build a Dot team. I think Dot team is very good in Ember Track, in some stages of Ethernet Rally, in some stages of future PV content, in Acing Echo, where they're so tanky, but Dot can take them down rather quickly, because we're doing damage straight to the enemy max health. As you can see, we're just surviving really well. And the faster your Vice is, the easier the stage become, because you can constantly just provoke or taunt the boss. And I can assure you, the moment you can start farming Inferno NicoNana, you're gonna be here for a long time. Why so? So if you only farm NicoNana after you have gotten like 1 revelation and 1 codex, you can probably ignore the rest. If you only farm NicoNana, you have a couple artisan, your Doki team is gonna be so much safer because of the shield and the defense buff. Your fastest unit could be using this beautiful shell, have Swift Rush and Swift Raid, and if you get a nice little speed on it, you're now double dipping in 2 different speed bonus set, and you can get crazy fast on 1 different character. And you have a Alicorn to counter those people that trying to stun you turn 1, like Kazuyo or Fast Oboe. Then Alicorn is going to be amazing for that. And Gigabyte can allow you to cut in between different dungeon boss. So they always have like 3 targets to move. So the boss and the 2 side thing will move, and then your Alicorn will get activated, and you cut in between and control the boss. So overall, the NicoNana Inferno dungeon is one of the most important things to farm for a long time for any mid-game player. Even I need to farm a whole lot, and I've been farming this thing a whole fucking lot, and I still have to come back because I want a better artisan. And the moment you have very good shell from NicoNana, you can probably go here and do a very similar team concept, because once again, you have to stun the side thing so that they don't hurt you, and you have to do big damage to the boss. But that's going to be in the next video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in the next video.